And we are now getting you details of CJI's big observation amid the judge cash rout. Centre moves to impeach the judge and CJI, that is backing Supreme Court's action. CJI has said, and I quote, steps are being taken to stop judicial misconduct. Erosion of public faith has hit the judiciary. Judges must be free of external control. CJI backing the collegium system, saying that the collegium must prevent executive meddling. Now remember, this certainly has been a huge argument as far as this entire case is concerned. And how, to what extent, can the executive meddle when it comes to the judiciary? The CJI also acknowledging that there has been erosion of public faith that has hit the judiciary. But he's also adding that judges must be free of any external control. CJI backing the collegium system, saying that collegium prevents executive meddling. Remember, this comes amid growing chorus of action that must be taken against the judge in a scenario that he's tainted. So far, the panel finding report certainly indicating to how the judge was very much aware of that cash that was found in his house. And even as we've received several dissenting voices asking for action against the judge, government moving to impeach the judge, CJI backing Supreme Court action. Nalini Sharma joining us on the broadcast with further details on the statements coming in from the CJI. How do you perceive the entire situation, Nalini?
Well, Suresha, there's no doubt about the fact that it's a tense time for the higher judiciary. Essentially, also might be the reason why we are seeing these kind of statements coming in from the Chief Justice of India while he was visiting the UK, where he's defended the collegium system. He's spoken about how the collegium was created to reduce the executive interference and maintain independence in the appointments. And he's batting for the independence of the higher judiciary amidst a time where India might be seeing the first ever impeachment of a sitting judge in the history of independent India in the upcoming monsoon session, because that's what we're given to understand, that the impeachment motion might be initiated in the upcoming monsoon session. This comes in after Justice Yashwant Verma has categorically refused to resign after an in-house inquiry that was set up by the Chief Justice of India had found that there is prima facie evidence that the cash that was found in that 30 Tughlaq Crescent residence of Justice Yashwant Verma belonged to him, and he was not able to explain the source of this cash. He refused to resign, even though that was an option that was given by the Chief Justice of India, but that also comes on expected lines, because essentially if he resigns, he gives up the immunity that he currently has against any criminal prosecution. So until and unless he's impeached, there will not be able to have happen any criminal prosecution against him, which is essentially what everybody has been asking for till the Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankar himself. He stated that there needs to be an FIR filed in this case, but all that will happen only after the impeachment motion is initiated and passed in the Parliament, which in itself is going to be a slightly lengthy process. But we are expecting it to at least start in this upcoming monsoon session, and it remains to be seen how Justice Verma prepares to legally defend himself in the days coming ahead, with him facing impeachment in the Parliament of India. So, Yesha, back to you.
Absolutely. Nalini, we continue to track the situation very closely, even as the government is preparing to initiate impeachment proceedings against sitting High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Verma. He faces allegations of corruption after the discovery of a large amount of cash from his official residence in Delhi. Now, according to sources, in the upcoming Parliament session, an impeachment motion will be brought against Justice Yashwant Verma. According to reports, Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal met with Home Minister Amit Shah, who later met with Prime Minister Modi to discuss this entire matter. JP Nadda will also meet, he also met Amit Shah and Vice President Dhankar in this regard. Minister of Parliamentary Affairs Kiran Rijiju, who will lead consultations with all political parties ahead of tabling the motion, and sources say cross-party consensus would be crucial given the constitutional threshold required for the removal. CJI Gawai has also backed the Supreme Court action on Justice Verma and asserted that action will be taken against any judicial misconduct. At the same time, he also emphasized that judges must be free of external control. And let's explain to you how this move may eventually pan out if it does. Now, if the impeachment motion is moved, then it needs the backing of at least 100 Lok Sabha MPs and 50 Rajya Sabha MPs in the upper house. The Speaker will tell the Supreme Court to form a probe panel of judges, and the government will nominate eminent jurists to the probe panel so that it is an impartial probe. Now, that will of course be of the choice of the government. Now, in a scenario that Justice Verma is found guilty, then Parliament voting will take place. And remember that the motion needs to be passed with 2/3 majority in the Parliament. Only then can a decision be taken as far as Justice Yashwant Verma's impeachment is concerned. The President orders removal, after which it will be the first in India in this scenario if Justice Verma is impeached. But like Nalini said, that it will be a lengthy process if this happens. I want to go back to Nalini to get a sense of how the situation may evolve, Nalini, because we understand the seriousness of the centre when it comes to action being taken against a tainted judge if the charges are proved, if he's proven guilty. But pressure is certainly growing on that front, given what the CJI has said, saying that executive should not meddle, and while any sort of misconduct must be taken very seriously, and the judiciary will take the best possible decision. How do you see the situation panning out?
Well, so Asia, in the coming days, the first thing that we have to expect is for the impeachment motion. Now, given to understand that all of these higher authorities, including the law minister, the vice president, who's also the chairman in the Rajya Sabha, are all holding meetings, it is important that all of them come on the same page, and not just all of them, all the opposition parties too have to come on the same page, because, like you correctly pointed out, of the constitutional mandate to impeach a judge successfully in the parliament. Just to quickly take you through what the procedure we are expecting to be in the next coming few days in accordance with the constitution. First, a notice of motion will be given in the parliament. It has to be given in either house of the parliament. So it can either be initiated in the Rajya Sabha or it can be initiated in the Lok Sabha, and it must be signed by at least 100 members if it's in the Lok Sabha, or at least 50 members if it's in the Rajya Sabha. The notice must be submitted to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha or the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, and they must consult individuals and the materials as they deem fit before deciding to admit or reject the motion. In case the motion for impeachment is admitted, then there is going to be a constitution of another 3-member committee. Now, this is crucial, Suesha, because one 3-member committee that was constituted by the CJI has already said that there is prima facie evidence against Justice Yashwant Verma. But once a motion of impeachment is introduced in the parliament, there will be another constitution of a 3-member committee, and this 3-member committee will include a Supreme Court judge, which may include the Chief Justice, a Chief Justice of a High Court, and a distinguished jurist. So all this 3-member committee will then once again examine the allegations and the charges against Justice Yashwant Verma and see whether or not there is enough credible evidence to go ahead with the impeachment motion. Essentially, the things that the committee will do will, number one, be framing of charges, which essentially means that they'll lay down exactly what are the criminal charges that can be brought out against Justice Yashwant Verma according to the evidence that they have found, along with the report that was given by the 3-member committee. They will also allow Justice Yashwant Verma a chance to defend his case before this committee. So what he tells this committee is going to be crucial on how his impeachment motion actually plays out. Essentially, also why we have seen Justice Yashwant Verma continuously and regularly hold meetings with his lawyers to prepare his legal strategy.